Last week on IMTP, the judges didn't hold back on saying exactly what they were thinking.
I don't really see a photo booth there. I'm hanging out in a bar and I just snapped a picture.
It's a no-no. I don't know what that is. In accordance to the theme, no. He totally lost it. It's not photo booth. Yeah.
They picked 3 people up for elimination, with you, the public, voting for one photographer who should be given another chance. And this is who you voted back. Charlie from London was voted back and he's going to take part in episode 2. While Arnis from Latvia and Joel from Portugal were eliminated. So the challenge for this episode is Silence is Golden. Last time we went out at 3 o'clock in the morning to find this perfectly silent moment, something mystical. It was getting us out of our comfort zone, quite literally by getting us out of bed. So what will our photographers do in this week's Internet's Most Talented Photographer? Brian obviously had some issues with getting the silence that he needed. How do you convey silence when everybody around you is being a noisy bastard?
During the shoot, I really also wanted to capture, just some emotion in there, apart from it just being a landscape shot.
So here we are, about 3,000 miles from home. We're on a trip visiting family and friends.
Like Brian, Ty didn't want to do the obvious thing of shooting landscapes.
Now, why are we in front of this church? I want to try to capture the peaceful calm of being inside a church.
Church?
The aisles,
nice idea. Very silent. You can hear pin drop or priest fart. Ty and Mademoiselle Ty form quite a good photographic relationship. He does the behind the camera bits, she does the in front of the camera bits. But for the first challenge, Ty was more in front of the camera. Let's see how he does when he's in full control of the camera.
Hi guys, Michael from Germany here, how are you?
At first, Michael wasn't quite happy with some of his earlier attempts. But time wasn't on his side. With no time to spare, he decides on an idea discussed with his buddies.
Trying to capture the idea my radio friends had. Some of the pictures actually came out pretty well, but I wasn't quite satisfied with the results.
After a few attempts, Michael got the shot that he wanted. But will it be the right one? Max took to the mean streets of the Big Apple and met some people on the street who had clearly been drinking a bit more than juice. He dodged the drunkards and pulled off some night shots on the street.
The best one emerged yesterday when I was traveling by train. It was raining and suddenly I clearly imagined the final image. I understood what I was going to do.
Her style is very unique, but that meant that Graham and Mark had different opinions about her photo last time round. Will our judges agree on her work this time? I think this is one of the contestants to watch out for. The judges didn't quite get Harrison's technically brilliant photo last time because they didn't think it followed the theme. Will his photos please the judges in this episode? As we saw from last week, Chloë likes experimenting with her photography and using Photoshop to take her image further than just what you see at the scene.
The picture that I chose to submit for this challenge was taken from my bedroom window. The sunset that night was just really beautiful. It started off golden and then it went into pinks and purples, and there was just something really calm and relaxing about it. I felt that these pictures were a lot stronger than the others I'd taken. The picture on top was near the beginning of the sunset and the bottom one was near the end.
Eleanor's out in the countryside, but not for a pleasant walk. She's searching for the perfect light, but time is ticking and the sun is fading fast.
I hate the countryside. No, that's pretty good actually. No, that's actually really nice.
You've got about 3 minutes.
You could sort of stand animal phobia.
Done?
Alright everyone, just check my new, I can't even get my words out, just check my email.
Okay, so Charlie got saved last time by you, the public. Now let's see how he does with this challenge. Charlie's been voted back, but he really has to up the game to ensure he doesn't make it into elimination for a second time.
That's probably one of my last locations that I'm going to try. But I am knackered. I have no idea where I am.
The judges questioned Michelle's last concept in the photo booth challenge where she said anywhere could be a photo booth. What will she come up with this time?
When I heard that the next challenge was Silence is Golden, I thought about capturing what would normally be a busy area with no one there. So my videographer and I went to a playground that's right across the street from my old elementary school at around 3 a.m.
Well, I just wanted to go for a street shoot in the morning where nobody is around. And normally my main subjects are people, so that was pretty hard for me.
This dude was so close to being put up for elimination last time. Let's see what he's going to pump out this time.
This is my picture. I really enjoyed the framing of it, and especially the colors are really nice.
Normally I don't like the sculpture as a photo subject at all because it's been done to death by a million tourists. But then I realized that because it is so busy, if I could get a photo of it where no one was around, the juxtaposition of these two situations would actually lend itself to an interesting photo. I liked the test shots, but what I realized was that if I shot this completely devoid of people, the sense of scale would be completely lost. Also, I wanted a sense of quiet contemplation and isolation, not a still life of buildings and the sculpture. And so I got my shot with my friend in there.
Also, slightly off topic, Joselito had a little statement to say to some of the Alambi admirers out there.
Who seem to adore Alambi. It's kind of disturbing and a little gross. You guys should A, get some social skills, B, stop eating pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, move out of your parents' basement. This would help you develop some social skills so that you can actually meet women instead of drooling over random ladies in YouTube videos. It's weird and gross, and she would never talk to you if you guys actually met.
We have many moments every day that we are distracted to do something, just for the sake of doing something. So do we ever really make time to just find some inner silence?
Now Hessel has promised to shoot all his challenge photos using film. Nobody else is doing that.
I went with the idea of having Jenny in the rehearsal space of my band. A place where a lot of noise and energy is released on a weekly basis. After the rehearsal space, I also explored shooting in very low lights, just to try and shoot an image that would feel more lonely. This was the only shot I made at that particular location, and at the time, I didn't really think much of it. Technically, there are a lot of imperfections in the photo, but to me, the subjective side is stronger thanks to that.
Hi, my name is Forrest, and this is challenge number 2.
He's a funny bugger. And his photos are really quite nice too.
Silence is golden. It's actually a pretty groovy concept. See, I had a lot of fun shooting this. Throughout the week, I shot at a number of locations. But I found that this sunrise lake setting created results truest to my interpretation of the challenge.
Perfect, just a little bit more to your left. Taking the plunge. Oh, I hate this.
So Forrest went for a little splash to get this shot. Now it's time to take the photos to our judges. First we have Carsten Schell, seen in our first Protog Cheap Cam Challenge. He's an award-winning commercial photographer and president of the HKIPP. For sure, he knows a good photo when he sees one. And returning from the first episode is Mark Chung, a Protog with an eye for striking photos and a knack for coming up with bitingly sharp comments. Okay,
So
Mark.
let's see.
So this week it's Silence is Golden.
All right.
Let's see how golden these photos are.
It's a nice quiet church and can almost hear the organ stopping and a little bit of nothingness. Empty pews, silence. I can relate to that. This is very nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the person almost gets lost in the picture, so it's really only on
the second time I look at it that I realize, I know there's a bit of fussiness there, but it's not so distinct. I think that could have been brought out a bit more.
In relation to the theme, the water is not still enough for me, and I can actually see sounds. Whenever it's just me, whenever I see water, I think of ripples and sounds. So it doesn't work for me, but it just doesn't mean that it's not a bad picture.
I don't know, I find the foreground, the brightness of the foreground really takes a lot away from this. It's a very contrast, it's almost a half and half separation, but the important part is up here. Yeah, it's not missing much. It's just a little bit more detail I would have liked to see.
Okay. Okay, this is definitely not silent, this is the beach.
Yeah.
A beach is a noisy place.
What do you think of the composition of that?
Cropping off the building doesn't bother me, I like it. Yeah.
What irritates me is there's a lot of information here that detracts from the actual image. I think because it's a natural instinct to go and read what's written here. So if the photographer had cropped out this lifeguard booth or whatever this is just here and used it for a graphic element, I think that the shot could have been a bit tighter.
Oh, I like the wheelchair. This has got a lot of this is very dark stuff. It's a nice shot. It's got a little wheelchair.
You like the dark theme of this?
I like the dark theme of this one, and these buildings here are very interesting, and the wheelchair is a nice touch.
Yeah.
I would have, again, kind of tried to focus a bit more. I mean, here the mystique is here. Why is there an empty wheelchair in this space?
Boat frenzy.
Okay, we rewind the tape to what I've just said about this one.
So, lots of sounds there.
Lots of sounds.
Yeah.
Trees, birds.
How's that compare?
Actually, this one's a better one in terms of
silence.
Silence, yeah. It works better. There's a lot of still water going on. In relation to the theme, the water is not still enough for me.
It's a pretty well executed image, I think. The photographer really knows his stuff.
It's the evil photo booth guy.
It's the evil photo booth guy, and he's got the evil nuclear blast looking tree, and he's consistent. I like his tones, and
it's a nice picture. Very graphic, kind of very organic feel. The leaves kind of almost take a life of their own.
Okay,
what does that do for silence?
These two are shot by the same guy.
A bit less of the background again, and just more focusing on the person. I mean, I like the conceptual approach, activity around her, and she's just kind of creating her own silence. Again, I mean, these bits of highlights, this is directly opposing the face.
Yeah.
So the eye kind of moves away. I mean, just hide that, and then you will look at her face.
It seemed like both judges couldn't fathom why anyone would bother using film in this competition.
Film, whatever, you're racing in a city street, it doesn't matter if you have a race car, you just have to go through traffic. So a Toyota will do.
Yeah, for me, I think the debate of film and digital is over. It's done. Whatever way you want to pursue this, taking pictures, film or digital, just go for it. But I don't think it makes or breaks the image. At least for me it doesn't. It's all about what's depicted.
This reminds me too much of Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is not a silence place, so I cannot put myself in a situation where I'm surrounded by buildings and feel silence or golden.
Quite formal, kind of the buildings are all kind of vertical, but here on this reflection they get warped.
So,
this is nice. This is very surreal.
Yeah.
I like the way he captured the. I can see there's a lot of effort going into making something like this. In terms of going to a field, getting a person, your friend, to take the photograph, catching a light. This is very nice.
I quite like the eeriness. I mean the silent eeriness of the picture. It has a bit of an edge to it. bit of a pretty sunset in the background, but because of the foreground, it gets a different twist.
You don't know.
I don't like the way it's composed.
What's wrong with the composition for you?
It doesn't tell me anything about her environment. So I think this is what's bothering me. This is cropped too tightly to tell a story. So I'll just have to move this a little lower.
So basically, all these guys are safe at the minute.
These guys are safe.
These ones at the bottom that are kind of in a danger zone.
I would say this is the good, but this is just ugly. I want to see what's.
I
want to see more.
This is actually the guy. You like his photograph. You said you would pay for his photograph. It was the guy, the black and white, slightly dark.
Well, hey. We all up sometimes.
Well, I think definitely works with the theme. Not quite sure how silent it is in her head, but technically spot on. I mean, the focus is just where it's supposed to be, but it also has enough out of focus to hide any unwanted detail.
We called up 6 of the contestants to inform them of the news. Obviously, the decision has been made. Well, both judges, they were quite unsure. And obviously, people have upped the game this week. They've been really trying this week. And obviously, because we left it a little bit open, photo booth was quite specific. This week it was more open to interpretation. Well, he thinks that your photo is good enough to take you to the next round. Oh, no swearing there. You didn't call me bastard this time.
Oh, yes! Oh, my face. We'll have a heart attack. Oh, my God!
So, 6 people go through. But who else will go through also, and who will be eliminated? First, Mark looks at Michelle's photo.
This one is silent, but if you're looking at it from a distance, and again, within context, this is too colourful.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
She's only got one lens. She's only got a wide angle. Yeah, you can see her colours, her themes, her colours are very saturated. And it's like taking a lot of drugs, and I would want to see my world like.
There's a lot of drama, even so it's just a playground. But for me, it's quite a loud picture. I'm not quite sure if silence is golden. Here it looks more like the photographer tried to cram everything into the picture.
Okay. Because I'm seeing a lot of things that makes noise.
Yeah.
Cars, yeah. And there are ways to eliminate these cars altogether. And if the car's not here, just a bicycle, this would have been perfect.
Okay.
You know what where the photographer wants to direct the eye. Just would have loved to see a bit more foreground, I think.
Okay.
Put a bit more quiet. Again, there's lots of things going on in the background that suggest not really silence, but more activity, streaks of lights and stuff.
Looks like a postcard. It's just postcard. Doesn't do it for me.
It's actually 2 same shots.
Yeah, I know. It's a reflection, and it's a postcard.
Yeah, I mean, I like the basic premise of the image, but there's nothing else in the picture. It's quiet enough, but it doesn't really communicate silence to me.
In terms of execution, this is the weakest of them all because the depth of field is not playing through as much as the photographer liked it to be. I'm quite sure he would like this to be a little lighter in color because this red and this red and this red is too similar, it takes a little while to get a grasp of this is something actually in the distance.
Yeah.
I wonder why the foreground is in focus and the background is not. That's kind of the first thing that I find a bit irritating. What really irritates me, I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to look at. I don't know.
You think it's a strong or weak image?
Well, I think it's a weaker image because I think the photographer doesn't give me a clear idea what the image is about.
Okay.
Who gets to go?
Yeah, so this is the thing we've got to decide. These are in your not so hot category, so we have to pick, well, however many you like.
So, who's in? Who's out? Here it is, the moment of truth.
We took it to the judges. One of the judges is actually different than last time. Mark Chong still remains.
Okay.
The guy who likes to say exactly how it is. So anyway, the judges have decided, so no turning back. And that means that you are actually up for elimination this week.
Woo! Wow, that's tough.
Yeah. Chloe, unfortunately you're up for elimination this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's bad. Not good, not good.
Yeah.
New judge already bringing, what's the word? Hell.
Okay then. Alright, thanks.
So take it easy and have a nice weekend.
Okay, thank you. You too.
Okay then.
Bye.
Okay, see you. So Chloe, Orson and Michael are up for elimination this week, but only one person will be given a lifeline, and it's up to you to decide who will be given another chance to take part in challenge number 3. Vote by clicking the link in the description box below.
I think I expressed it in my video. I'm really disappointed that they didn't really properly critique quite a few people's work. I thought alright and iffy wasn't a professional opinion. I'm sorry, but it just isn't.
What one of them mentioned iffy? Was it Mark?
Yeah, he said about mine anyway. He was like, oh, it's alright, it's iffy or something. I just thought that's not how you critique someone's work.
He like...
I was just like, okay, fair enough, you don't really like it, but tell me why.
This is great. This is great stuff. We should get you over here with Mark Chong and bang, we have a fight here.
I'll bash him into a pulp.